As Christians, we ought to be productive and honor God while at it.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, karibu sana. Welcome to Make an Impression. I like to call this a safe space where we are choosing to be authentically bold in how we live our lives, whether that is matters faith, lifestyle, or personal development. So if those are topics that interest you, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and joining this growing family. So today we are discussing productive habits that go hand in hand with honoring God, because if we are being productive, if we are working hard, but we are not honoring God in the process, then we are likely to not achieve the results that we want to as women who seek God, as women who are seeking to be better, as women who are seeking to develop ourselves. So I'm going to just dive right into it and share these productive habits. And I'm going to start with one that I know a lot of us, if not all of us, struggle with, and that is rest. Rest is a productive habit that honors God. God desires for us to rest. God desires for us to find rest, to sleep in Him. Because I can tell you, as if you are a millennial like me, as the way we were raised, rest was the enemy. Like the current state of economy glorifies work 24/7, work. But God desires that we also rest. It's a productive habit that we need to be able to incorporate in our day-to-day lives as Christians and as women who are seeking to develop ourselves. And I'm going to read that from the Bible just so you know it's not my words. I'm going to read Psalms chapter 127. Verse 2, Psalms chapter 127 verse 2, it says, "It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep." Other versions say, "For God gives rest to his beloved." And so it doesn't mean that God does not want us to work hard, but he wants us to believe that rest is part of us. Rest is part of our lives. We need to incorporate rest. We need to rest in him. We need to know that even as we take the break, he is taking care of everything else. He is taking charge of everything else. While we rest, we don't need to feel guilty, because I have struggled with that. I have felt very guilty resting. Sometimes I'm just like, I feel like I'm over resting. I feel like I need to be really pushing myself. But I am slowly learning to embrace the fact that God gives rest to his beloved. God does not want us to toil all the day. It says, "It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil." So getting rid of the anxiety and resting in God and knowing that he's going to take care of everything else while I have done my best. The second one is diligence. Diligence is a productivity habit that not only helps us grow, but also honors God. God requires that we work diligently. God requires that we work persistently. And diligently basically means to zealously seek for something with all of one's heart, strength, and might. And that requires persistence, a good attitude, attentiveness, and hard work. And we're going to read the book of Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10, which kind of guides that. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10, the Bible says that, "For God is not so unjust as to overlook your work and the love which you showed for his sake in serving the saints, as you still do in serving the saints as you still do." So God is not unjust as to overlook the level of diligence that you put in what you do, whether that is where you're employed, your self-employment, anything that you do. Are you diligently doing it for God? Are you diligently doing it? Are you putting all your hard work there? Are you giving it your best? Because that is what it says. God is not unjust. He will not fail to bless that which you have diligently done or diligently seeked with your own hands. The third one is stewardship. We ought to live as people who can steward our lives. God has given us authority. He has given us authority, and we need to use that authority to steward our lives so that we are not just waking up and waiting for the world to decide what is going to happen to us today, but you are stewarding your life. You are making good choices. You are deciding the things you're going to be a part of and the things you're not going to be a part of. And when you learn to steward your life, you're able to say no to things that are not aligned. You're able to quickly decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You are able to steward your life. You're able to make decisions and stick with them, because that is one of the productivity habits that will help us remain productive while honoring God. The fourth one, I said I'm only going to share 5 for this session today, guys. The fourth one is have a plan, strategize, which goes hand in hand with stewardship. You have to come up with a plan. You cannot just live haphazardly, guys. One of the productivity habits that we need to embrace as children of God is being able to have a plan, strategize. What are you working towards? Visualize, have that goal in mind, work towards it. God works with you if you are able to plan, if you're able to come to Him with a plan, if you're able to write down the things that you want to achieve and set your mind towards them. God honors a mind that is planned. God honors a mind that strategizes. God honors a mind that works towards a particular goal. And that goes hand in hand with the fifth one, which is the last one for this conversation, is prayer, guys. Without prayer is one of the best productivity habits that you can be able to embrace for yourself as a Christian, as you're choosing to grow, as you're choosing to work on your personal development, because prayer is really just conversing in God. Prayer is inviting God in those plans, in those strategies. Even as you rest, all these things require prayer, because prayer allows you to converse with God. Prayer allows you to welcome God into the decisions that you are making. Prayer allows you to strategize with God so that God can guide you. He can guide the decisions you're making. He can guide the plans you are working towards, so that you're not haphazardly just doing things, but there's some sort of direction. God requires us to be productive in prayer, and prayer is a daily habit. It is something you have to develop. You have to do every day. That's why the Lord's Prayer, goodness, the Lord's Prayer says, give us this day our daily bread, because it is something that we need to seek every day. That daily bread is something that we need to seek from God every day. Invite Him so that He can speak to us in the plans that we are working towards, so that He can steward our lives, so that we are not just doing things, we are not just moving swiftly, we are not just allowing the course of life to take us, but we are allowing Him to guide us in these decisions. We are allowing Him to guide us in our productivity. And let me tell you guys, if you implement these habits, make them a daily thing, make them part of your productivity journey, and make sure that you are honoring God in the process, because where there is honor in God, there is blessing. Where there is honor in God, there is direction. Where there is honor in God, there is peace and there is guidance. And that's basically what we are seeking as we are choosing to grow and develop ourselves. Tell me in the comment section, which productivity habit are you struggling with? Personally, was struggling with the productivity habit of rest, because it is a habit, but now I have come to learn to rest in God, to accept that rest is part of me and I am part of rest. And when I am resting, I'm not really being lazy. I am allowing God to be able to use that which I have already labored on and worked on to help me. I would like to hear from you as well. Which productivity habit are you struggling with? What can we pray together towards achieving, so that we can become people who honor God in our productiveness. Well, that's it for today's conversation, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it's your first time here, karibu sana. Welcome to Make an Impression. I like to call this a safe space where we are choosing to be authentically bold in how we live our lives, whether that is matters faith, lifestyle, or personal development. So if those are topics that interest you, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and join this growing community. Before I leave, guys, a friend of mine gifted me this box, pocket box that says promises from God for women, and I would love to be sharing this with you guys. So I'll just be picking a card at the end of every conversation and just letting you know what God is speaking to us as women. So the first one says, you are truly a wonderful person. Please believe that you truly are a wonderful person. And at the back it says, I pray that God will be kind to you and will bless you with peace. And that is 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 1. I pray that God will be kind to you and will bless you with peace. What a beautiful reminder. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I do look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.